I'm going to now upload rescue video that's been modified. I'm adding some clips of the La Jolla shore when it was less treacherous and the tide isn't so high and the waves are not at peak El Nino swell level. Well, they weren't peak the day of the rescue, but they were bigger than they are on a typical calm summer day. So we see the shoreline of Windansea here in front of the hut, just to the north and to the south of the thatched shack with palm fronds on it that is the famous Windansea shack, with all the people in the ocean enjoying the calm water, small waves, and there's definitely no real danger. The lifeguards were just relaxing and watching everybody in the water. Now on the location of the rescue, the water is lower now, the tide is lower, and we can see the rock that Naomi the lifeguard stood on to check the bottom if there was any sand or rocks exposed. Now we come to the part of the video where it shows the actual rescue. The swimmer was out in the water and unable to safely navigate his way, swimming into a pocket beach where the waves were hitting the rocks and the backwash was rushing back out, and it was just a very unsafe environment for a swimmer who doesn't really have a lot of experience in getting in on days like that. Somebody broke their board. Some guy was bringing in half of the board. I don't know if it was his. It looks like it might have been, because he was wearing a wetsuit. It was pulled down to his waist, and here's the other lifeguard running up, the male lifeguard, to see if the female needs some assistance. I spoke to some of the lifeguards that were on the scene a couple of days afterwards, and they were telling me, well, the one who was the more senior, young guy named Mark, he seemed like a supervisor. He spoke to me and he said that the rescue victim entered the water from the Big Rock area, which was approximately where Natalie entered the water, and was out there swimming, but then eventually the tide came up while he was out in the water swimming, and the conditions changed. So that's what caused the urgency, that caused the panic. He wasn't able to get back in with the water, with the tide being that high. And I can see why, because it would be rough. She entered the water at that place, but Mark, the supervisor lifeguard, told me that if they had not been able to get the jet ski for whatever reason, if it wasn't available, then he said he would have personally gotten in the water and assisted Naomi in swimming the victim the long way, he called it, back over to the beach at the shack at Windansea, where there was more beach exposed and it wasn't as gnarly with the rocks. Another one that was there a couple of days later, on the 2nd of August, after I had already uploaded the video to YouTube, was Gus, and he was in the shore break with me because I was doing a body surfing, and then Diego was the other one. Okay, the place where in the video, the original video, where Naomi is swimming out is really impressive, where she enters the water and she starts stroking, overhand stroking, I guess you call it, over out there to the victim, and she's got the red lifesaver buoy towed behind her on a rope. That looked really cool, the way she was really moving quickly, and part of it was backwash, yes. A set of waves had just come in and the water was rushing back out, but she's obviously a very good swimmer. The training that they undergo is pretty impressive. I think they have to swim like 1,000 meters in under 20 minutes or something. Don't quote me, that's probably not exactly correct, but there's a pretty high standard that they have to achieve. And someone here, the intercom comes up, the PA system of the lifeguard truck that pulls up, and Naomi does a hands over the head with a touching fingers signal right here, that apparently is like all is well, mission accomplished, and that the swimmer was no longer in such danger because he has the boy.
Naomi, we've got the jet coming. You gotta hang tight. As long as all good, we'll just stop you off at Westbourne.
So she does that a couple more times. Does the hand signal. That means that apparently it means that the lifeguard found the victim, met the victim, and the victim has been stabilized, has been rescued with the boy, was out of such danger. And okay, now she's gesturing with her hand towards the shack and where Westbourne is and the beach is, where they might be taking him. You know, a lot of people in the comments section were really gracious, and they were saying that she was doing a really good job, and then there were people that were like making comments that the guy was a fool and he, you know, was just incompetent or an idiot and blah blah blah, and just saying all these derogatory things about the swimmer. But I mean, that could really happen to anybody. I mean, if you want to go out there swimming, that can be pretty much anybody or anybody's family member out there in need of a lifeguard, and we should be very grateful that they will come out there, and you won't get a huge bill, you know, unless you're like, I guess, I don't know. I don't even know if you have to be a serial rescuee, getting rescued all the time. I want Naomi to come out and rescue me. I'm going to go and almost drown. If you've ever almost drowned, it is not pleasant. It's scary. You don't want to get into a situation like that. But and pretending that you're almost drowning is a pretty serious offense, from what I understand. You could be in a lot of trouble. And the jet ski came up with the two other lifeguards. Looks like they're wearing helmets. We've got this motorcycle on the water, and motorboat, little jet ski action. And he's getting Natalie is laying on top of the guy's back and from behind to hold him onto the raft, being towed behind the jet ski and pulling him back into the beach for the fun bumpy ride. All the way in. Go Naomi. Go lifeguards. Yeah, they definitely need to be, I think, designated as first responders, because they save life and they are essential to beach safety, and it's just one of those things that our tax dollars are well spent on. Police, fire, EMTs, airline stewardesses, hostesses, and now lifeguards, I think. I don't know why they're not doing that, why there's a delay on that. I'm sure there's a lot of legal maneuvers and details that need to be covered. But I think it needs to happen. It should happen. They deserve it. They're watching the shore, keeping people safe, and they're very, very important elements of public safety, national security even, I'd say.